team that love to counter press. As soon as they lose the ball, they're going to work very hard. Also they have different tactics that they use. As we look into that, we can't discuss now, but I think we're very prepared for them, and I think we'll look very good against them.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody from the broadcast and print media that would like to ask a question, whether to coach Hallgrímsson, Gordon, or Captain Blake, please go ahead and raise your hand, and immediately after that, we'll go right into those parts of the online media platforms as well. We'll give you a few moments. So those in print, that's newspaper, or those in broadcast, that's radio or television, you may raise your hand, and then we will proceed. All right, let's hear from Livingston Scott from the Gleaner. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, Simon. Good afternoon, Coach, Captain Miran. My question, we have seen the team with a couple of different styles. We have seen a number of players coming in and being looked at. Just trying to get a good idea of what the coach is exactly looking for going into this Gold Cup in terms of playing style and even team makeup.
Yeah, we are first of all trying to gel players together into how we want to play, but we don't have a preferred playing style. For example, tomorrow will be a totally different approach than we played against Qatar. Not that is because of the opponent, but it's because of how we would like to prepare and be ready for everything that the teams in the Gold Cup will throw at us. So we will be ready to change the tactics during a game, etc. So that is how we want to use the friendlies. Number one, to learn, to improve as a team, but also just to look at players to see if these are the players that we would like to carry on, not only for the Gold Cup, but into the World Cup in 2026. So it's a kind of mix, and I've often been criticized for friendly matches, not to put the best team to win the friendly matches, but I think the purpose of friendly should be to try to grow without thinking too much of the win. But now I think we're up to that point. We need to start to win, so we will at least do our best to win tomorrow.
In terms of the learning and the progress, though, Coach, how pleased are you with that? I must say that all of this is geared towards preparing for the Gold Cup. How pleased are you with the learning of the players and the progress that they're making as a team?
I think we are getting there slowly. We are getting there slowly. We are finding the players that we would like to carry at the moment. Of course, players will come and go. They will have their spells, and then they will have their downtime. But I think we are finding the kind of the group of players we think are suited for what we would like to do. Of course, there will always be players that don't fit to our philosophy, but that is just life. So we are in the process of finding them, looking at future players. So yeah, but we are pretty decided on how we would like to play as a Jamaican national team.
Just one more, Coach. You mentioned win. We all know that important first win hasn't come as yet. How much of that is a focus for you tomorrow, and how will it affect your selection for the team and for the game?
No, we pre-decided how much playing time the player should have here in Austria. So it's more about fitness, it's more about being ready, football fitness-wise for the Gold Cup, rather than playing players to win, risking them to be injured or fatigued. We need some players to have minutes. We must give them minutes, and we must also be careful about other players that we might, if we wanted only to win, we might play them 90 minutes, but then we are risking them to be injured. So we just have to calculate everything, and we have pretty good knowledge and good guys to follow the fitness and the injury status of the players. So we will be careful, but yeah, we are doing what we think is enough to win the match tomorrow.
Livingston, any question Coach Gordon or Captain Blake?
Yes, just want to ask Captain Blake. More likely, I assume he'll be starting tomorrow. What's his outlook on the game and what him expect of himself and his team?
Yeah, as coach said, every time we get a friendly, it's always important to win. But this is also the chance where, the coach get to tweak a few things or try a few players in different positions. And sometimes it's not always about winning, it's finding what you need to find, fine-tuning what needs to be fine-tuned. And then, once you get going, you're good to go, And for me personally, just being able to play another game for my country, whether it's a competitive game or a friendly game, it's always an honor. So I just look forward to going out there and leading by example.
Yeah. All right. Thanks much, Capo. All the best. That's me.
Thanks very much, Livingston. Now we can open the floor for online media. Let's start with Sports Down the Middle with Tigat.
Yes, good afternoon, Coach Hallgrímsson, Meron, and Captain Blake, Simon. Good evening. Coach, we want to know on the other side, we're not really, I know that the media, some media houses and the print medias are up to result, and they're crying out because of the way the boys are performing. No win, no double in the column yet, no tick in the double in the win column yet. But on the other side, we want to see football. We want to see progress. You understand? We want to see Jamaica having a style of play. You understand? That's what we on the other side want to see. So we're a little bit more patient with you than some of the print the other media houses. How upbeat are the players are now facing the opponent tomorrow?
Well, you should ask the player. We have one here. We have one here.
Maron, all right, Mr. Sir Gordon, how upbeat are the players?
Yeah. Coach said player. I'm a coach. We have a player.
Blake.
That's a player.
I have a special question for Blake, I have a special question for all three. So I just need to know how upbeat are the players are.
Yeah, man, they are very upbeat. They are very upbeat, and they know that it's also important to get wins, especially we don't want teams that rank below us to beat us. But at the same time, as coach said earlier, that the tactics and the planning of how we want to carry out things is more important right now. But of course,
precisely. Every
game we play, we want to win. It's how you do it.
Right, precisely. Blake, congratulations on the awards that you win. I interviewed you the last time at Argentina versus Jamaica, and you are very good. I love to see you in goal. You're my goalkeeper. The other goalkeeper, how do you see the future for them if you supposed to leave the game, retire early? Do you think we have good people between the sticks?
If you let me, I'll touch a little bit on when you ask how upbeat the players are. I think the players are very motivated, and as I said earlier, it's not always about winning, but don't mistake that for, not wanting to win. But if you focus on doing the right things and doing them consistently, everything else will take care of itself. So let me just get that out of the way first and foremost. And the goalkeepers that are here now are very talented. I've gotten the chance to train with them. And yeah, again, as I said before, future is bright, and they just have to keep working hard, keep learning as much as they can, and, keep pushing.
Thanks, Tigat. We have to move on to a few others that have questions. Let's go back to print media. Jordan James from Backpage Football in the UK.
Good evening to you all. Firstly, a question for Coach Hallgrímsson. Would you say your 23-man squad for the Gold Club is more or less finalised, or could performances tomorrow affect your thinking?
yeah, in our minds, we have decided who are the 23, but we'll see after the game tomorrow. Hopefully we can just announce the squad after the game tomorrow. Hopefully on the post match press conference, we will try to announce the squad. We don't want to talk about that before this game tomorrow. So if you bear with us on those questions, so we are focusing on the match, and we'll tell you the final 23 on the post-match press conference tomorrow.
And lastly, a question for Andre, if possible.
Sure.
Many players have stated this has been a beneficial camp so far. What would you say have been the main positives for you?
Yeah, the camp has been good. You know, I believe that every time we get the chance to be together, you know, it's very important, because that's a chance to play more, to continue to build as a team, you know. And I think that we have had some really good training sessions, and, you know, coach has been able to continue to imply what he really wants from the players. And, you know, repetition is key. So the more we get to do it, the more we get to see it, you know, it becomes natural, and then we can only get better from there on in.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Simon, as well.
Thank you, Jordan. Let's now go to Eddie from Eddie Vision TV.
Yes, thank you very much, Simon. Good evening, gentlemen. This question is for Coach Hallgrímsson and Coach Gordon. We have noticed a few additions to the staff in Simon and Omar. How is it like working with those new members?
No, it's really good additions. We have a few new members in the staff in this camp. We have a fitness coach that is really assisting Lamar well, different areas. Now we are going into a long time together, so we need to think about the fitness level of the player. So we wanted to add a fitness coach with a speciality in injuries and coming back from injuries, to keep players fit and strong. Some of them are carrying injuries from the past, so he can work with them, so they will be able to play. Yeah, Simon, of course, the EFF is doing now the World Cup, Women's World Cup. We are doing the CSE games for the under-20, so we knew that we needed assistance in the area of media and press. So Simon is a really good addition. Reverend Manningsman has been also a good addition in organizing. He was a little bit too competitive in the game, and he got a yellow card. He was suspended. But a lot of good things in this camp, and we're trying to improve in all areas. We're getting in some equipment that we haven't used before, so we are trying to improve the professionalism around the national team, and slowly but slowly we will do that. But really good additions. Can you add to that?
Yes, and roles and responsibility was given to the new members. So, you know, as long as you're working in a professional environment and roles and responsibility are clearly defined, there will be no problem. And so far, you know, very, very good addition to the national team.
All right, very good. One question for Captain Blake, please.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Thank you. We knew that you had picked up an hamstring injury, I think, you know, a month ago or so. Are you 100% no?
It wasn't a hamstring injury, but I played maybe 15 games since then, so I'm good to go.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate it. Let's now go on to, yes, MG, you asked one question, so you have one more question. You may proceed.
Oh, thank you, Simon. Question to Coach Miran Gordon. Coach, since you have been working with Coach Hallgrímsson for a long while now, what can you give us maybe two important aspects in the coaching realm that you have learned so far working under Coach Hallgrímsson?
We've been doing planning before Coach came here, but you know, how deep a plan in terms of how long we started the plan. Because, for example, all the training sessions, you know, for this camp, basically, we did them like a month ago. So things like that, and you know, how deep, you know, he preaches professionalism, you know, and you know, we hold each other accountable. You know, he's not a person that only gonna do something by himself. He always want ideas, always want you to pick his brain and challenge him. So yeah.
Thanks, Mario. Appreciate it. Let's now go to JT Taylor.
All right. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, you may proceed.
All right. Good afternoon. How do you got, Coach? Hope you're doing okay. It's Jay Taylor from New Media. I have a couple questions here, Coach. How are you doing, Coach? Are you feeling okay? Are you still optimistic? I know there's a lot of football, so sometimes we don't even know if you're still okay. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Do I look bad?
No, it's we're just checking the pulse of the coach, make sure he's still upbeat and ready to go.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. But I'm okay. I'm okay. Little bit tired, like we should be after a long camp, but a little bit tired.
All right, cool.
Thanks for asking.
Yes, as you know, we are the guys on YouTube, as we would say, slinging the belt, meaning we are trying to hold the federation accountable and the players accountable. One of the issues over the years has been logistics when it comes on to the GFF, players getting to locations in time, proper facilities, and etc. Do you see any improvements in that area in the past few months since you have taken over the job?
Well, I don't have much experience from the past, to be honest. So, but we have tried to be as professional as we want. We have put forward our request about all of these things, but we don't live in a perfect world. So all of the things we ask for is not happening, and I think that is mostly everywhere. But maybe Maron can take that question and extend it because he has the experience from the past and not me. But I think the best way is just to work from the things how they are and not be complaining. Now we need to focus on what is ahead of us and not be thinking what happened in the past or, you know, drag some negativity into the camp that we are going to. So I think we should just be focusing on what our job is at the moment, whatever the logistics around us is.
Thank you, JT Taylor. Really appreciate it. We have a few more to get through before we wrap up. Let's hear from Football in 90. That's Mr. Kerry James.
Hey, Simon. Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Question for Coach Hallgrímsson first. So, Coach, less than ideal preparation since you don't have the full squad that will be going to the Gold Cup. You mentioned you'd be taking a different approach against Jordan tomorrow than you did against Qatar. How do you balance seeing the new players and giving them playing time with, on the other hand, trying to use these practice games to set and refine your tactical approach and how you'd like the team to play when the real games come around?
Yeah, so we planned that, like Maron said, we planned that way before we came here, how we wanted to play these games, what we wanted to try to implement in these two matches. So like I said, it was a different approach to the Qatar game than we are going to do now against Jordan. And correct, I think nothing is ideal in this world. Nothing is perfect in this world. So we have had to adjust to this situation. Of course, in the beginning, we hoped that we would have the 23-man Gold Cup squad with us here. We soon saw that wouldn't be the case. So we just adjusted on the way. So we use this time as well to look at younger players, give them a chance to shine and show what they can do. So we are mixing it up. We are mixing it up and we'll mix it up with players that will be in the Gold Cup, trying to help them to progress and be ready when the Gold Cup starts. Of course, we cannot do much with the guys that are not here, but then again, we are trying to look also further ahead to help the guys that will be next year or in 2 years or 3 years. So they start to know how we how we operate and how we work and how we want to play.
Thank you very much, Mr. James. Let's now go to Bertram Spence. You have one question. Go ahead.
So this is for Coach Hallgrímsson. Coach, many teams have finished a very long, arduous season, such as Argentina, England, but seem to have all their players available, barring injuries, for games subsequent to season's end. Why is it so difficult for us to get all our players together all at once for preparation for national team games? And have you and the JFF administration engaged the players about how this and what can be done to change the situation going forward? It is not sustainable if we want to be successful to have 1/3, 1/4, or half our players in preparation for any meaningful tournament. And by the way, before I answer, I'm surprised management got a yellow. Michael.
Come on, just give me one question.
I kind of have answered. I've kind of answered this question. You know, it's not ideal not to have the full squad, but we are trying to do what the best for us in this situation. Going forward, I think this will change slowly by slowly, with increase in the professionalism in what we are doing, helping the JFF to also improve in what they should be doing, and then the players will join.
All right, so
you wanna add to this?
It's not.
I have one more question for Blake when you're finished. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not ideal. You know, but you know, to see a little light end at the tunnel, the players, you know, 95% of the players that are not here are players that are, you know, exposed to the tactics already. So that's something that we can also see that as a positive. But it's not an ideal situation. But you know, as coach said, slowly but surely we're going to fix it going into the future.
One more, Bertram, and then we'll wrap up with.
I wanted to ask Blake.
Yes, of course.
So Andre, you have been in this tournament for a number of years. You've been one of the premier, if not the premier keeper in the MLS for years. You know the competition that we face. You know the squad we have and the capability of the squad we have. What do you think are the biggest impediment, challenges, and our concerns that we have going into the Gold Cup? And what do we need to do to get us over the line?
I don't have any concerns. You know, we have a very talented group. As you said, I've been to a few these tournaments before, been to 2 finals. And yeah, I can confidently say this is the most talented group we're gonna have going into the Gold Cup, but I'm also experienced enough to know that talent or just names on paper don't really win this tournament. You know, this is Concacaf, and it takes a lot of running, fighting, commitment. And if we can get, you know, all our players to be committed to do the dirty work without the ball, I have no doubt, because I know that we have the talent to be really good with the ball. It's just going to come down to how much are we willing to suffer without the ball, because this is a tournament and it's about surviving and advancing, and it doesn't need to be pretty. As long as at the end of the 90 minutes or whatever, you're moving forward, you win the trophy, nobody will ever care how you play.
Thanks very much, Bertram. 2 more questions, and then we will wrap up this pre-match press conference. One from Livingston Scott, and we'll wrap up with JT Taylor. You may go ahead, Livingston.
Yes, thanks, Simon. Yes, coach, just want to know the magnitude of changes for tomorrow's game. If you will basically be sticking with the basically a team that you started in the previous match, there will be a more wholesome set of changes for the game. Just trying to get the understanding of how much changes we can expect for the game tomorrow.
I think there's 6 changes in the lineup, starting lineup from last game. So we decided prior to the camp that no player would play 2 times 90 minutes, even though they were in full season. Like Blake is in full season, so he easily could have managed 2 times 90 minutes, but we wanted to share the minutes. Plus, we don't want to overload players in the 2 matches prior to US. So I think, just to answer the question directly, I think it's 5 or 6 changes from the last starting lineup.
Thank you very much, Livingston. Finally, JT Taylor, you may open your mic.
Yes. My question is for Andre Blake. And I just want the coach to just let us know what's going on with Ravel Morrison, if he's still available or if he's with a club. But for Andre Blake, this question is from the Reggae Boyz Nation group. The fans want to know, basically, when you're at your club, you play the football out of the back, like short passes. But whenever you play for the national team, it seems that you're always going long. The fans are very concerned that it's a mechanism that you just go long. What is it? You're instructed, or it's just the reaction?
Let's just say when it's there to play, I'll play. If it's not there to play, I won't play. And we kind of just leave it at that. It comes down to playing style sometimes, and other times, is it the right thing to do? You know, what are the chances? You know, I'd rather lose the ball 90 yards up the field than on top of my 18 trying to play out of my 18 or trying to play out of my 6. And the same fans that are saying, why am I kicking it long, is going to say, why did I play it short?
All right, thank you very much, Andre. Coach.
Finish on the Ravel thing. I had a good talk with Ravel prior to this camp, because I think he's a wonderful player and a good person. So good talk with him. We talked together after the Mexico camp, and we basically departed saying that he would need to play matches to be able to get to the Gold Cup squad. Sadly, he didn't. So we just had a good talk, and hopefully he will get a good team and start to play. I think he's working on that at the moment. So hopefully we'll see him play for Jamaica in the nearest future. But I was kind of pre-decided if he could not get games.
All right, thank you very much, Coach Hallgrímsson, Coach Gordon, and also Captain Blake as well. Just before we wrap up, remember tomorrow's encounter is 7 a.m. Jamaica time. That's 2 p.m. local time here. And also, don't forget to check out JFF Live, the YouTube channel of the Jamaica Football Federation. There are some interviews as well that you can also use in your stories. There were a few with Dishon Bernard, Dexter Lembekisa, Joel Latibodair, also our kitman as well in Norman Stone, and also Brandon Kova, who joined the camp quite recently as well. So check out those interviews, and don't forget to also follow JFF on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Thank you very much, guys, and we will keep you posted as to what time the post-match press conference will be tomorrow. So have a pleasant rest of the day, and we'll be in touch soon. Take care.